And we're asking a provocative question on the program tonight. Are doctors playing with lives when they go on strike, and should they lose their license to practice when they go on strike? The criticism has been that 30 people have died in the last 3 days in Rajasthan alone. In the capital at Safdarjung Hospital, the strike is still on. So we're debating, should doctors have any moral right to strike? Let me start the debate with the Minister of State for Health, Dinesh Trivedi. Mr. Trivedi, this is a complex argument according to the doctors, but a reasonably simple and straightforward one according to the patients. Patients are arguing that we cannot suffer, you cannot play with lives. No matter what the complaint, and in this particular case in Rajasthan, there was a serious complaint about security. Do you believe that there is any moral justification for doctors to go on strike?
I think, Barkha, this is most unfortunate. I do not know the numbers of people who have died because of this. Even one death, why should that happen? And this is absolutely unacceptable. And I would appeal to MCI that if there are certain bylaws under which they can deregister them, because this is happening far too often.
Right.
And I think doctors as a community must appeal to their colleagues that this is giving a black spot to otherwise such a noble profession of doctors.
So are you saying, Mr. Trivedi, that you believe that doctors who go on strike, because you use the word unacceptable and you use the word deregistered, that they should actually lose their license to practice?
I feel that they should never have any kind of such occasion, because they are at the peak of the social ladder in terms of respectability. I can also understand that at times doctors do have a lot of genuine issue. I would not doubt that this could be one of those genuine issues of the doctors. What I am trying to suggest is this is no way to protest. There are many other ways. And if you want to go on strike, which doctors should never go on strike, it should be absolutely the last resort, and after giving, I do not know, a due notice so that the administration can organize an alternate. But you know, even the police and all, they have to be very, very careful dealing with people.
Right.
And especially dealing with doctors, because many times this is also true. That sometimes the situation is very badly handled.
And that is the complaint we've seen in Rajasthan, at least, where doctors have actually said that the police barged in and beat up doctors. But the moral question still remains. You've triggered the debate. Let me get into our panel. Harsh Mahajan, do you agree with the moral principle or the moral argument against the strike? Because doctors are not like any other profession and they cannot respond like any other profession.
I think no one will deny that morally there is no right for a doctor to go on strike. But as the Honorable Minister himself said, it has to be the last resort. And I can tell you, no doctor ever wants to go on strike. They are passionate about healing, they are passionate about treating, and it's only when all other measures, and it's not one occasion, you have a history of doctors being assaulted, and it's only when everything fails.
But you also have a history of strikes.
There is a history of strikes. Now, who are these resident doctors? We've all been residents. These are some of the best brains in the country. People who could have been IAS officers, who could have gone into IITs, who could have done an MBA, but because of the passion for the profession, and because, I mean, most of us just wanted to be doctors. What is it in the system that has brought us to such a stage that you are willing to go on strike, knowing fully well that people are going to suffer?
So you're saying empathize with the doctors, understand that if they're doing this, they must be doing it because the system has pushed them too far.
I'll tell you, no doctor wants to ever go on strike. It's by far the last resort. Unfortunately, over the years, systems have not developed where grievances can be actually redressed or even addressed, for that matter. And that's why
so it's
it leads
a failure
to
of the system, according to you?
I would think so. And there is also somehow our public healthcare system doesn't come very high in the priority.